theories on TikTok that will make us question reality. Remember, at the end of the day, these are just theories, okay? They're just theories. I'm just saying that for all the people that be vouching for or going against what was in today's reaction. They're just theories. I'm done talking. Let's go ahead and get into today's video. I am excited. Shout out to Retro for the first video of the day, Hollywood conspiracy theories.
Are there any conspiracy theories that you think are true?
I think Michael Jackson's innocent.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I actually agree with that because all the stuff that keeps coming out about like Hollywood and all the weird, like, dude, I 100% think that's probably true.
So here's my
You look like Will I Am.
Okay? So I won't say the celebrity's name, but there is a guy a friend of mine talked to who used to hang out with Michael Jackson when he was a kid, right? And you know, they'd be home alone together.
Shouldn't have said it like that.
But my friend asked him, like, point blank period, hey, you hung out with Michael Jackson, did he ever? He's like, no, dude, Michael actually protected us because there is a Hollywood, you know, sex or whatever that does happen. Now, deeper cut, I don't know if you guys ever, like, watch those videos that talk about, like, oh, this dude got arrested for, he went to jail for, like, 2 months, right?
Yeah.
So I think that because there is also a DC sex thing or whatever where they're kids and like all this other stuff, because they, if in case they get caught, what they do is they make the sentences more lenient if you have the money to kind of pay it off, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the people who are doing it are usually like suit and tie, whatever. And then Michael Jackson had like a mutant face and wore like a marching band jacket and white socks and
The
black shoes.
opposite, yeah.
So it was easier for them to be like, well, why would we do it? We all wear suits and look great. It's clearly this freak over here who's
Yikes.
and then you just pay off these other kids like $1 million to say that guy banged you.
Because I know that Macaulay Culkin is like a big advocate. He said that Michael Jackson was like one of the only people that protected him.
Yeah.
So
And Corey Feldman, same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but
This
the
my
entire
movie.
planet will
Sorry.
be under the protection and the dominion
Shout out to my
of
mom.
this power alliance, the human power elite.
I'll play it one more time because I know I got a little happy, but that's my movie. That's me and my mom movie.
Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance, the human power elite.
And they just clapping it up. Oh boy.
You guys, Sam Smith finally confronted the craziest conspiracy theory about them, that Sam and Adele are actually the same exact person. So if you didn't know, this conspiracy theory started in 2015 when a lot of people online started to notice a lot of similarities between Sam Smith and Adele.
Oh.
But this conspiracy theory started in 2015 when a lot of people online started to notice a lot of similarities between Sam Smith and Adele, like their appearances in this overlay. They're both British, talk the same, both very critically acclaimed singers who sing the same style of breakup ballad music, and they've never ever been seen in the same room together, ever. What are the odds of that? You will never find a photo of them together. I dare you to try. The theory goes someone in the music industry wanted to double up on the money earning potential of this artist, so they would have Sam get in the booth and record something, but they would pitch it up or down to make us think it's two artists. I'm about to play Adele pitched down and Sam pitched up, and they sound exactly like each other both times.
Played out by the band. Love is a losing hand.
Before I show you what Sam has to say about it, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and requests you want to see next.
Everyone seems to think that I'm Adele. So people think that we're the same person, and I'm just in drag right now. And I get asked all the time in every interview about it, and it's really frustrating. But I am not Adele.
I don't know, because the math was mathing on that one.
I want y'all to know how this earth used to be and how it's going to be pretty soon. Yeah, we doing it, exposing Avatar. Because it definitely was a documentary on how this planet actually used to be and the people. In this land, they found so many new organisms, beings, trees, all types of advanced psychological things happening on this planet. mainly because they wanted to colonize and obtain resources that would make them rich. Sound familiar? In the movie, there were these beings called the Navi people. Their bodies were so advanced and connected to the earth, and they seemed to have dressed to African clothing. Now, the Navi people were very, very tall, and so was nature. All the trees, everything was literally lit. There's the same thing about giants on Earth, 8 to 10 feet people living and walking around in the past. Taller than the regular humans. Because who was these steps for? Also in the movie, there were big, tall, giant trees. You know, on Earth, the mountains that look like they cut off trees. Now in this movie, they was willing to do whatever, knocking down sacred trees, doing all types of things that hurt the planet and the Earth and everything that was connected to it. Sound familiar? I mean, who knows what our DNA is capable of? So these humans want what these highly intelligent beings have. So they invaded and took advantage of the peace that we had. AKA Native Americans, Africans, Egyptians, all that. Same thing that they did to the Navi people in the movie. So much bad, sad, negative things happening on this planet to where it can't even be its full potential because it's trying to clean itself up. Prime example, while we're alive, we take so much resources from the earth. And then when we die, we put ourselves in coffins, unaccessed to the earth or the soil. In the movie Avatar, they literally bury their bodies to give back to the earth, but we don't even do that. Let's really try to understand what this movie meant and what we're capable of. Always stay dangerous.
Shout out to DeAndre.
Sunlight reduces the size of internal tumors.
I thought sun causes.
Well,
Everybody
actually,
says stay out of the sun because it causes.
right. They did a study at Baylor University where they took 2 groups of experimental animals. They gave one a standard American diet, which is terrible. They gave the other one a highly nutritious diet. Then they exposed both groups of animals to the ultraviolet rays of the sun. In the group on the standard American diet, 25% got skin cancer. In the group on the highly nutritious diet, not one animal got skin cancer.
Wow.
It's the way we're eating. Skin cancer is a relatively new phenomenon in the last 60 years or so, and yet our ancestors for hundreds of years have been living outdoors, working outdoors, and they didn't get skin cancer. It's a new phenomenon.
We reacted to a couple videos back about how they had in the orange juice. It's in the food. That's why I'm like, they're not lying. And then we react to another video where there was fake clouds being made. They're doing this to block the sun, to block the light. Now you got a question to ask yourself. why are y'all doing that? Because if the sun isn't causing, then why are you guys making things to block the sun out? Then you're telling people, oh, sun causes skin. Question everything. I'm learning.
What we are in a matrix construct that's ran off of digital numbers 100100100100100, just like the matrix. And your social security number is actually a bank routing number.
Right.
Yeah. And that's a whole nother thing too on how to keep us at sea. Getting when you first born, you have to notice the things they do. They take the sole of your feet, they put ink up under it, and then they make you put the sole of your feet on a piece of paper, so you automatically sell your soul. So parents are selling their children to the corporations. Corpse means dead, so you're selling them to these dead corporations soon as they born. Then they tag them with a number. This number is literally a trust TDA account where there's millions and millions and millions of dollars that you can never ever tap into, because the moment you tap into it, that means you got your freedom. We should not be working. We should not be having to pay taxes. This is our land. We are nationalists. We are not civilians here, and we're not citizens. This is our land. We was here first. But you got the $1, $5 Indian, the way they came in and they act like it was this big old slave trade. And I mean, it's a whole lot of propaganda of stuff that they put inside of our faces that really didn't happen. But when you're dealing with a people that have severe amnesia through trauma experiences that we've been experiencing, and you keeping us doped up on pharmaceutical medicines, you keeping us doped up on GMO foods, you keeping us doped up on herbicides, pesticides, you keeping the hertz and the frequencies of our brain limited from the clothes we put on our, like, we don't realize what these clothes even do to our emitting of electrical magnetic energy. When you put a people under hypnosis, you can tell them anything and they will believe anything. And they can sit up here, and these truths that I'm speaking today, the people that sleep and haven't came out of their slumber, they will call me a quack. They'll call me a liar. They say this nigga out of his mind. But the whole time I'm speaking actual facts and truth, but they can't relate to it because these are the people that's been sedated, that's in this indoctrination or have been put to sleep.
Dang.
I mean, I have no
words.
I guess no quorums would.
Speechless.
Bro, y'all missed it. It's like 3:40 in the morning and I'm seeing a bad clips, man. Y'all missed that shit. Man, this crazy.
He sounds so tweaked out. But I mean, it is 3:40
weird though, cause there's like a moon over here.
What? Whoa.
That's why I thought it was weird, but I was like, whatever.
So what is that?
There's two of them.
Y'all might hear lawn mowing and dogs barking in the background. It's okay. It's okay.
Latest human quest is immortality and divinity. We're all trying to be superhumans. Is that actually happening?
Yes, in places like Silicon Valley, equality is out, but immortality is in. Everybody's talking about immortality. Google has just established 2 or 3 years ago a sub-company called Calico, whose stated aim is to solve the problem of death. We've solved search, now we'll solve death. And they are not the only ones. And basically they are saying death is not some metaphysical phenomenon. We don't have to wait for the second coming of Christ in order to solve it. A couple of geeks in the laboratory can do it.
Are they doing it?
Yeah, they are investing billions in that. Not only them, but all over the world. Basically, there are 3 ways. You can use biological engineering to change the human body, to speed up natural selection. You can use cyborg engineering, which is combining organic with inorganic parts. And you can create completely inorganic life forms. It will be not only the greatest revolution in history, it will be the greatest revolution in biology ever.
Will we still be human?
Not in the sense that we understand humanity today.
But my question is why? Why do y'all want to sit here and live forever on this wicked earth? How? It's perversion on another level. Basically, you was put here for a purpose, a mission, and a reason. So you gonna tell the one that made you, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna live forever, regardless of what your plan was and what you say. Remember, change the part about you that makes you think that you're better than the Most High. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without copyright reasons. Dang. Ten inches? So all this happened the next day. I just want you guys to remember that Jesus Christ is really this man right here. Caesar, a very false image of the Messiah. Jesus Christ is a deity, a whole deity. I'm just bringing up stuff so that you guys can see some things. But yeah, that is not what the son of Yahuwah, the son of Alua looks like. He does not look like this. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. If you want to, okay, then Jesus Christ. But this, yeah, that's not who that is referring to when they're talking about the Bible, the Messiah, the son of Alua, all that. This is not, yeah. At the end of the day, these are all Caesar. See? So I'm just letting y'all know. If the Bible was written in Hebrew and Aramaic and Greek and the J didn't exist, how can his name be Jesus? I just wanted to point that out. Shout out DeAndre.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life does not. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I highly recommend everybody that's on here to read not just Deuteronomy 28 and 68, but read Deuteronomy 28, period. Read the blessings and the curses and really see who are the true people of Israel according to the Bible. And then come back and let me know what you guys got. Shout out to Kentrell.
Let's pretend for a minute that your mind is a supercomputer. In a computer, you have to have an operating system. What is an operating system? An operating system is the main software of a computer that tells that computer what other software programs it can and cannot run. If you put a failure program in a computer with a failure operating system, it can run that program. But guess what? If you put success software in a computer that's programmed with a failure operating system, all you're going to get is an error message. But here's what's interesting. I don't know if y'all can remember back in the 80s, late 80s, you'd have like the 8086 computer and the 8088s. They came out with a new operating system. You had to uninstall the old operating system, which usually took a couple of hours, and then you had to keep putting these floppy disks in and taking one out, putting one in, taking one out, putting one in, and it took a long time to reprogram the operating system of that computer. The same way it took a long time back then to uninstall an operating system and reinstall a new one, it takes a long time for most people to uninstall their failure operating system and install a success operating system.
Why I stopped working for money and started working for my last name.
Abercrombie and Fitch, last names. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Kohl's, Kraft Foods, Lowe's Movie Theater, Marriott is a last name. Maybach is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Pillsbury is a last name. Porsche is a last name. Procter & Gamble, 2 last names. Rolls Royce, Charles Rolls, Henry Royce, last names. Turner Broadcast System, Ted Turner, last name. Versace, last name. Wells Fargo, Henry Wells, William Fargo, last name. Walgreens, last name. Wrigley's, last name. Welch's Grape Juice, last name.
Dang, that's a whole list.
Here you are, you think you're buying a product. You are not buying a product, you're buying a name.
Today we're going to talk about the brainwashing thing called a job. Don't talk about me because I just woke up. I get the knowledge from my dreams, y'all. All right, y'all, time to close the blinds. So we all know we all born and came to this earth, and we all have just natural specific talents that we don't use. Don't fight me, but what if we're here to use them? What if the waking up and going to work and getting paid and getting money and everything like that is all just a distraction? Some people are good at writing, cooking, singing, drawing, etc. You were born to do more than just go to school, get a job, pay bills, and die.
I agree.
Working your whole life just to enjoy a few years when you're close to death is just the biggest scam. You want to know why people love the weekends? Because it's the weekend. 5 out of the 7 days of your life, you're stuck in the same building doing things that stress you out that doesn't feed your soul. Then you get drunk and party so you don't have to think about it. Everybody works for some type of corporation, but that corporation will still be there after you are long gone. What really made you important that left your footprint in the sand? Everybody's gonna remember Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates. But do you realize that it's you who could be creating something like that? It's you who could have that potential, who has that talent. You don't have a purpose. You are simply put here to scan items, box things, talk to angry customers, so they walk in your purpose so you can hold up the low duties of this country.
Ooh.
Somebody gotta work at McDonald's. How y'all gonna eat? Be more than the systematic box that you are in. Y'all be safe out here.
Money is really an idea. You say that's money. No, money is an idea. It's manifest on paper. Now, paper used to be wood. How do you make paper out of a tree? It didn't seem to make sense. Well, you alter the vibratory rate of the energy that's called wood, and pretty soon it's called paper. And then you put ink on it, and now we call it money. Now let's think about this money for a moment. If it can be neither created nor destroyed, it must already be here. If we can't destroy it, if heat will cause the energy that we call water to move into an etheric state, I would imagine heat would cause what we call money to move into an etheric state. And there it goes.
Somebody crying. Oh, what the
And
heck?
where is
Where'd it
it?
go?
You say it's gone, it's not gone, still here. You see, you'll never see it on the level it's on now with your physical sensory factor sight. But if you use your intellect and develop understanding, you'll know that it's still here.
No, what clicked for me is when, because I'm like, what do they mean money is energy? What do they mean by that? Because they get it from trees. Paper comes from trees. Trees is energy. So that just clicked for me. I didn't get that before. I couldn't connect the two and two together, but somebody may have to explain that last part for me.
It's 50% of new cars to be electric by 2030.
True, but I guess now it's 60%.
True or false, a typical electric car requires 6 times the mineral inputs of a conventional car.
Don't make no
if
sense.
50% of the cars were electric vehicles today, is there enough power on the electric grid to charge them all?
Absolutely not.
So
You
what's
said
the
in your
point?
written statement, Mr. Bradbury, I'm going to quote you, if every country in the world achieved its stated EV targets by 2030, the total savings in carbon dioxide emissions would be expected to reduce global temperatures by only 0.0002 degrees Fahrenheit by the year 2100. Given this fact, is it unilaterally gutting the U.S. auto market, critical mineral supply chain, and the grid stability? Is that the solution for addressing temperature goals?
I don't think.
I don't stuttering. No, before knowing everything, okay, because we know we're not team Elon Musk, but I thought Teslas was cute. Did low-key wanted one. High key. I'm not even gonna say how close I was, but I wanted one. Teslas is nice. They still kind of nice. I just don't like the man that operates or the name behind Tesla, or the man behind Tesla, I should say. But then it clicked to me and it dawned on me. I said, okay, so if I was to get this car, and mind you, yes, I'm saving money on gas, but I have to go and charge it. It's like, okay, cool, you know, whatever it is, what it is. But nobody thinks of the catastrophes that happen, or y'all know we react to a video where they talk about the power grid shutting down, or the, you know, just electricity period shutting down. What do those people with those type of cars, what are y'all going to do? Because what if I sold all my cars and only had that one, and then the power grid goes out? Then what? How am I going to leave? How am I going to get me and my family out of here? No, I have to depend on a gas car. So it doesn't make sense. And then plus on top of this, what they just said, it really doesn't make sense. Does anybody in here that's watching the video right now own a Tesla or a charging car, a car that doesn't require gas? Because I can't think right now. And if so, what are the pros and what are the cons? Do you see yourself ever going back to gas, or now you questioning because of what just happened in this video and what I expanded on? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm very curious. It's not a bash to anybody that's riding a Tesla, mind you. I said they cute. I still like them. I just don't really rock with the man behind the person of it. But then again, that's another story, because y'all know he ain't even he stole, but that's another story for another day. Shout out to Rick.
United States of America.
Yes, sir, I have.
Why?
I do not feel safe living in the United States.
Do you want to come in and sit down?
No, sir, I'd rather not.
You'd rather just be here so you can make a fast exit if you have to.
As soon as you and I finish,
you're out
I'm
here.
leaving the country again. Why? Because in a very short time, not today, not tomorrow, but very soon, we'll be facing compulsory under the mistaken term of voluntary.
What is it about these you think that they're bad?
Well, first of all, let's start with the fact that the World Health Organization has decided that we have 90% too many people. The World Health Organization...
Pay attention to the medical symbol. It's a whole snake on it. When have y'all ever known a snake to be a positive thing? Would you let your baby play with a snake? No, I wanna, I'm trying to see something. Would you let your baby play with a snake? This is the symbol behind the medical industry.
The World Health Organization has been working since 1974 on to create permanent sterility.
Doctor, the response is going to be, you're crazy. How can you say this stuff?
I show them the documentation.
Proof.
Now, this is pretty shocking.
This process has already been ongoing. To make matters worse, we know that that were illegally approved by the FDA contain a substance called squalene. If I inject you with squalene, your immune system will attack the squalene, but then it starts attacking all of the parts of your body. What does that look like when you meet a person to whom that is happening? It looks like Gulf War syndrome. It looks like every joint in the body swollen and intolerably painful and immobilized.
This is in these shots they're going to give us?
It's in some of them, but the U.S. government has a trick up their sleeve. They will induce a pandemic using the nasal mist, which is a live attenuated virus. That means that if I take it, I can infect you. You're going to get the flu. Everybody around us is going to get the flu. then the United States government, based on their statements that they've already made, will say, oh my, we have a pandemic. Oh my goodness, we don't have enough doses. So we'll admix squalene at the 90,000 injection stations that the Department of Health and Human Services announced that they will ship the to.
People lining up, sometimes by the hundreds, for an H1N1 flu shot.
What that means is a Holocaust, a genocidal Holocaust. Men and women will sicken and die, and those who survive will be infertile.
I ain't about to even comment on that. She said enough. I don't want y'all saying the video was small. You need to, that how it look on here is how it look when I'm looking at it. Okay, it's no special treatment here. How y'all see it is how I see it. There's nothing that I can do. I'm not mad. I'm just because I know I'm gonna get. You need to zoom in on the. It's. Leave me alone.
Same thing with Kanye, bro. He's the real Chris Brown, and he's not allowed to get on stage. It's the only way he can make his money.
So you feel like that was like a lookalike that did that? Huh?
Do I feel like it was a lookalike in Chris Brown's body?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
No, Chris Brown is not that. It's just the same. It's the same thing with Kanye, bro. It's a taller Kanye, a smaller Kanye, taller Kanye. I was Ye. They started making more Yays. Chris Brown was not Chris Brown on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm an alien. What? It's not Chris Brown on stage, bro.
Let him cook. Chris Brown, he believes in UFOs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you think you ever been abducted?
Hell nah.
Do you think you ever seen anything that looked different? Why do you believe?
Because I'm an alien.
Why?
Because I'm an alien.
Okay. Explain.
I can't explain.
Do you feel like, and I don't mean, you know, sometimes people think alien with the eyes and outer space and all that stuff, but you really feel like you're not of this planet?
No, I'm an alien.
There's a documentary called Revival of Evil, and there was this art teacher, and he gave up on God, he cussed out God and started worshiping Satan, and he said, Satan, I want you to show me what you look like, because I want to paint you, and I want to look at that thing as a visual of who I worship so that it would give me more faith. And he said he shut out all the lights, closed all the blinds, and he pulled out a canvas, and he started painting, and he said every movement he made was something else moving him.
Another force was physically directing my body. Painted for several hours, and I was finished. It was the most fantastic painting I've ever done.
And the painting looks just like one of those beings from the Avatar movies. So what does this word avatar mean? It comes from Sanskrit, and it means descent. It's actually the incarnation of a spiritual being or a powerful deity on earth. So I immediately think of the Garden of Eden when I think of a powerful entity that came to earth and manifested to Eve and said, eat this fruit from this forbidden tree of knowledge. There's also a sacred tree in the movie Avatar where Jake meets the woman at the tree. So the main character's name is Jake Sully, and he comes from out there to this Earth-like planet where he meets the girl at the sacred tree. And his name Jake originates from the word Jacob, which means supplanter, and the word supplanter means to transgress civil or moral law. His last name, Sully, actually means to defile. So this being, whose name means the lawbreaker who's coming to defile, meets a woman at the tree, and an interesting thing to note is that he can't walk. Just like the serpent in the Garden of Eden was cursed to crawl on his belly from here on out. The planet's name is Pandora, and if you look at the story of Pandora's box, Zeus gave his daughter this box, but she was told not to open it. Very familiar with the story of the Garden of Eden where God put Eve in a garden and said, there's one thing you're not supposed to touch or eat from. Well, she opened Pandora's box, and out of it came all the evils to fill the earth. Just like when Eve bit from that fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and her eyes were opened, and the earth was cursed. It's also interesting to note that the actress's name, who plays Natiri, the main character in the movie, her name is Zoe. When you look at the name Zoe, it's actually from the word Eve. This may be completely a coincidence, but I think it's interesting that the main character female, who is a representation of Eve in the garden next to that sacred tree, who is met by this being from out there who's a deceiver, who's coming to defile, is named Eve. So this movie, like so many other movies, has this Gnostic plot.
If you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend, because it shows you that we're being watched with everything that we do. Some people are a benefit to the system. I just highly recommend that movie. It's so much. I was gonna bring up the breakdown of what the movie is, but I mean, technically I could. Now, I don't want to say too much, so I'm probably just gonna just read, it's not even paragraphs, but like 2 little short segments. I didn't know how to say it, because I don't want to give out too much of the movie because there might be somebody that didn't see it. So disclaimer, if you haven't seen it, click off from here because I don't want to ruin or spoil the movie for you. But in other words, they cloned Tyrone. This movie has nothing to do with Jamie Foxx being cloned. It doesn't. This movie is about you. All the drug dealers, scammers, gangsters, pimps, and then we had the lady selling herself, or the ladies selling themselves. You are the clones. You're just carbon copies of the same stereotypes placed in neighborhoods all around this country. The last thing I'll say, you're allowed to thrive because what you are doing to the community keeps the property values low and it keeps other races out, which allows the powers that be to experiment freely on your communities without fear of harming, quote unquote, their own. So again, you are the clones. I won't say too much. I'll let you guys go ahead and watch it. If you guys want the breakdown of that, I can post it in the chat, but you gotta have the Discord to see it. To make sure to have the Discord link is in the description. This video is long, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But you guys already know. Shout out to all you guys that send videos over, that's sending videos over, that's adding the Discord. I really truly appreciate you guys. Eternal honors to my Lord Yahuwah, Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach, for blessing me with everything as a whole. I'm Sylvester out there working in and through, so gotta give credit and honor where it's due. That's it for today's video. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom, shalom.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What? I won't sell my soul. I know my worth.